also. Then we'll come to characteristics of a scientific research. We know that the scientific method is a systematic, step-by-step procedure following the logical process of reasoning. Here, that means a scientific method is a process of objectively establishing facts through testing and experimentation. The major characteristics of scientific knowledge includes empirical. So our test should be empirical first. That means whatever we do, it should be verifiable. The cardinal feature of a scientific research work is that it is empirical. Thus, for a work to qualify as a scientific work, person should be able to verify the truth or otherwise of the said research work. Thus, with a knowledge of the materials and tools used by the original research and an understanding of the research procedure, any third party with the requisite knowledge should be able to verify the said research work. This is what the empirical research is. Next, our research should be objective. All scientific knowledge are objective as opposed to being subjective. So whatever we do is should not be subjective, it should be an objective. What does objectivity means? This simply means that they are considered from the general perspective as opposed to being considered from the personal perspective. The purpose of a research work is usually to solve a problem or give explanation to the problem. Now, okay. Third one will be our research work should be ethical. What does that mean? We know that science does not exist on island of its own, but exists within the framework of a human environment. Thus, a true and acceptable science must be in some ways put into consideration the values, morals, and ethical consideration of the society. So we should follow some moral and ethical while conducting a research. Okay. Any research work that gravely object to key and fundamental tenets and benefits of the society is greatly objected to, and as such loses general acceptances. For instance, the sacred nature of life is core value in society. Thus, a research work that threatens this core principle, which will stiffly objected to and would ordinarily lose its scientific flavor. This is what an objectivity is. Next comes systematic exploration. What does this mean? Scientific research requires verification, and the only way a scientific research can be verified is where there is a systematic exploration which can be repeated. What does this mean, repeated? This means that a key feature of a scientific research is that it follows some particular steps and procedures, and if these steps and procedures are repeated by any other person within a specific condition, the same result will be attained. This is what a systematic exploration means. Next one comes reliable. What is reliability? It is a key feature of a research work qualified as a scientific to be a reliable. Reliable in this sense means that any other person may replicate similar result by following the systematic procedures laid on. That means when any other than first person or second person, if a third person also do the same research work following the same steps, then the results should be the same. This is what a reliability is. If a research work cannot be relied upon others and a similar research replicated, then it cannot be qualified as a research, scientific research. Okay. Next comes accuracy. What does you mean by accuracy? All scientific research work must have these all important features of being accurate. A research work usually lays down the goals at the beginning stage and the results aimed to achieve at the end. This end result must be attained 100%. 100%. The precise nature of science increases the reliability of a science research works. Science does not have room for speculations and doubts, as these may prove to be really costly in the long term. Any research work that does not show precision and execute cannot does qualify to be considered as a scientific research work. Now next comes predictability. A good research work should be predictable. What does it mean? It simply means that at the very early stages of scientific work, a research should be able to predict the outcome. Due to precise nature of science and scientific works, they are very easily predictable. Science does not allow the huge uncertainties and unknown variables. All unknown variables and uncertainties must therefore be eliminated, so as to allow as a more predictable and reliable result. Now, the eighth one will be replicated. That means a scientific work will be of little to no relevance of it, cannot be replicated following a systematic exploration or a procedure laid down by the originator. The possibility of replicating a particular research work and attaining a result which is exact with the original research is that makes the general acceptability of the scientific works. Next should be important one is all controlled. Our research work should be in controlled. What does that mean? All scientific research works are usually examined under a controlled environment. This allows for a specific variables to be known as a knowledge of these variables allow for ease of repeating the same research work. All the control variables must be made known so that a person who wishes to carry on the research can do so and attain a very similar result. So these are the various steps we do in a scientific research. Next important one will be, usually these questions will be asked. So we have both print media, electronic media. Electronic media, we have television, radio, etc. So here, also usually PG students will be asked these types of questions regarding this electronic media and print media, their advantages or disadvantages or limitations of this media. Okay, so we'll try to explore that one. Now, when we come to print media, what are the advantages and disadvantages, or we can call limitations of print media. So when we come to advantages of print media, so literacy is a basic requirement for any print media. Only a literate person can read it. We all know that literature is compulsory for print media. Those who can read only can read print media, no? Next comes print media works according to a deadline. We all know that every morning, very early morning, we'll get the newspaper. So for print media to print, they need a deadline, which is almost 3 to 4 o'clock. They will print. So we have a deadline for print media. Print media works according to a deadline. Usually, a morning paper carries news receiving up to midnight of the previous day. So we have this deadline. In print media, readers have the choice to go back and recheck. So what does that mean? Because our newspaper is in our hands, we can go back and read a number of times, as many times as we can go back and read. This is an advantage for print media. Print media provides more scope for in-depth analysis of events. We know that op-ed is usually we see articles wherein a deep analysis is made. So print media provides more scope for in-depth analysis of events. Next, print media does not provide scope for live discussion. In electronic media, we will have this live discussion, but it is because this is print media, we will be getting news up to only previous day midnight. So print media does not provide scope for live discussion. Language is more literary and flowery for reader. What does that mean? We should in print media, the language is very what we mean a friendly language, so that everyone can understand. Simple language we'll use in print media. So, and the advantage is frequent update of news is not possible, because it is a print media. It needs time to print. So we will not update as we wish. Okay, these are the advantages and limitations for print media. Next comes electronic media. So radio and televisions have their own characteristics. UNESCO has enumerated the following strengths and weaknesses of radio and television. So first we go for radio. What are its advantages? It has imaginative potential to listener to add his or her own visual interpretation network. So in radio, we don't have image. So after listening those news or drama, we will visualize ourselves. This is what an advantage. And receivers are relatively cheap. Radio receivers are relatively cheap and portable medium. We know that it can be portable. We can take it wherever we go. And it is relatively inexpensive in production terms. In production terms also, it is very inexpensive, right? As an entertainment medium, it is psychologically acceptable. Okay. As a major news source, it is widely heard and accepted. It has a massive immediate and distribution. Okay, these are the advantages of radio. And next we go for limitations of a radio. It requires a fully developed radio network. For radio network, should we have to, whenever we want to listen to radio, there should be full network, and it has non-visual medium. So we don't have images. It is only we will listen the radio. So it is non-visual medium, and for that we need trained personnel. Okay, these are the limitations. And for local language is also needed for this radio. Okay, these are some limitations for radio. Next comes the television. Now, the advantages of television. What are the advantages of television? It is a visual medium. It is a visual medium which allows for a creative production approach. As an entertainment medium, it is very acceptable psychologically also, and it acts as a major news source. It is widely seen and accepted. This is also, we also know, it is an immediate distribution which can be massive. So it covers a larger distance also, right? And when we come to uh, limitations of television, what are the limitations of television media? It requires fully developed TV network and electronic supply. For this, we need electronic supply. So electricity should be there. For radio also, we need electric supply. If there is no electric supply, then we can use batteries in radio. But in TV, we need only electricity. So it requires a fully developed TV network and electric supply. And these TV receivers are expensive. We all know that. Next comes, it is expensive both in production and utilization unless used extensively. And it requires highly trained production and operational personnel like in radio, right? Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today I'm discussing about important topics because this is the last day, okay?
Okay, madam.
Right. I told you about a research proposal writing, no? In that, we need what will those steps? You all remember those steps? Okay. In that we have this what you call how to select a problem, how do we do a review of literature, and how do we data collection, and how do we analyze. These are all I explained. Okay, in that uh, each and every step is important, and because you need to write in 12th chapter 12th unit you have this report writing. So there we have in detail we have to write everything whatever we do in a research. Okay, so every step is important, and this review of literature, everything, and how methodology, these are also very important. Next comes, I did not explain you this report writing. No, first I will go to that one because that is very important. Okay, 12th unit it is. Right, students? Hello? Hello, students? No one is responding. Shall I go for that? Not.
Yes, madam. Please continue.
Okay. Last one, 12th unit. I'm going for 12th unit. Page number is last 12th unit. If you please go for this one. 151 page. Okay. Oh, 150. So it is 153. Please go through that one. 153 page. Okay, 153 page. Shall I continue, or you are opening this book, or shall I continue now?
You can continue, madam.
Okay. So in this report, they have given the structure and formation of a report. After we did the research, we need to uh, we need to write about our whatever we did in the research. We need to write. We have a particular structure for that format. This is structure and formation of a report. So what will be the structure? Okay, first will be the title page. Second one is a research declaration. Next one is a certificate of research supervisor. Acknowledgements, table of contents, list of tables, list of graphs and charts, and abstract or synopsis. This is a phase 1. So we'll go in detail. First is the title page. This is the title. What does this title page here? We'll be having the what is our topic. Okay. Regarding that, it is a title page. Next is a researcher's declaration. In this declaration, we'll say about how objectively we did this research. So we declare that it is done by ourselves. Next one is third one is the certificate of a research supervisor. Under whose supervision you did this research work. We need to mention his name, and here our supervisor signature is must, right? Next is the next page comes under what is this preface or acknowledgements to whomever their research work while doing this research work will take help of many people. So we need to acknowledge them. Next comes the table of contents. In this table of contents, whatever the steps we do in a research, this we will mention here in table of contents. This is nothing but I think it is a index of our research book. Okay. Next, tables. Whatever tables we use in our research, we will mention is what are the tables you mentioned in that research book. Here we will list out these tables here after the table of contents. Next, the list of graphs and charts. After you analyzing your objectives, or after analyzing your research work, you will get the results. In that results, you may use graphs and charts here. So what are the graphs and charts, where did you use all those? You will mention here in the list of graphs and charts. Next, abstract or synopsis. It is an what is an abstract? Abstract I will discuss a detail. Next, it is a phase 1. Next comes a body of report. So here, body of what is the body of report means? Whatever you do, here actual research comes. What is the first one? It is introduction. Next comes theoretical background of the topic, statement of the problem. Next, review of literature. Here also we have this review of literature. So I think it is very important one. So you should study in detail this about review of literature. Okay. After review of literature, scope of study. Next comes objectives of the study. Next, hypothesis and the definitions of concepts. After this second one, then next comes third phase. What is that? It is about methodology or the design. What is the design? It is a blueprint of your what you did in a research. Okay. it will consist of methodology. Next, methods of data collection, how you are collecting your data. Next, selection of sampling. After selecting the population, you need to select some sample, So actually, it should be 10% of your population, actually. So how you are selecting this? These are all we mentioned in methodology. And data collection, how you are collecting your data, and then how you are analyzing the data, and what are your limitations of the study. These will mention in this third phase. Okay. Next comes fourth one. Fourth phase. It is a results, findings, and discussion. Next comes summary. Here, summary means what are the research you've done. You will give your conclusion about the research, and you give recommendation for further research. Okay. And sixth one is terminal items. What are the bibliography and appendix? These are the last one. Now we'll go for detail. Okay. Excuse me, students. So I'll give you the detailed explanation for this. What we call it a title page. The title page should contain the following information. What are the report title, the name of the person, company or organization for whom the report has been prepared. We do research for ourselves, or for academic purpose, or for government, or for any organization. No, depending on that, we need to mention. Okay, the name of the author and the company or the university which originated the report. So this is a complete. After we'll complete this title page. If you have any doubt, you please ask now itself, because this is the last class, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So next comes a researcher's declaration. This is a declaration where the researcher makes a statement about the originality or the authenticity of his work. This follows immediately after the title page. So we declare that it is done by it is done by me only. It is an authentication. Okay. Next comes the certificate of the research supervisor. This is a statement made by the supervisor endorsing the statement made by the researcher. It follows the researcher's declaration page. So as I told, here it is about the under whom guidance this research has been done. So here in this the guide will give you the declaration that this research has been this research has been done under his guidance. This is what the certificate of the research supervisor. Next comes acknowledgements. So this includes a statement of gratitude to those who facilitated the work, guided the author, supported and stood by the author as he or she struggled to complete the project. It includes a supervisor, teacher or professors, librarians, family, friends, mentors, etc. Okay. So here we acknowledge the people who helped you while doing the research. Next comes this table of contents. What is this table of contents? The table of contents is a reflection of the report writing structure. Sections and subsections should be numbered and titled properly, logically, to help the reader find his way through the report. The contents can, what are these contents? List all the headings and the subheadings, excluding title page, table of contents, and other preliminary materials, giving page numbers for the first page of the each section. Right from I think it is from abstract. We need to give page numbers. List all the headings and subheadings, excluding title page, title of contents, and other preliminary materials, giving page numbers for the first page of this section. Okay. Reproduce the headings and numbering as obtained in the body of the research. Okay. For this report, we need to serially we have to give the numbers to each page. Next, include all full titles of the in this appendix only. We will need to write about all titles we used in our research report. Next comes the list of tables and graphs and charts. Okay, list of tables, graphs, and charts. The figures or tables or illustrations should be numbered in accordance with the chapter number and the figure or a table or illustration number position within that chapter. When there are 6 or more figures, tables, and illustrations, they are listed on separate page where, with their corresponding page numbers in the text. Here, whatever we do, we use here figures or tables or anything illustration. Means if it is a films regarding that images also we will mention here in this tables, graphs or charts. In this only we have to mention here. Next comes, this is the actual report. Here, abstract or synopsis. Synopsis means short story. Okay, short. Whatever you do, in short, we have to mention here in the abstract. This part of a report is usually no more than 1 page in length and includes, what does this abstract includes? Abstract includes the purpose of the report, the background of the report, sources of information, main findings, conclusions, and recommendations. While abstracts are brief summaries of that address a technical audiences, execute summaries represent report writing in such a way that it could stand on its own and would make sense to non-technical audience. So what is this means? It is a abstract is a crux of your whole research. Whatever you research you have done should be mentioned in this abstract or synopsis. Next comes this is a phase 1 or chapter 1. What is this? It is an introduction. In this, the introduction is the first chapter of the report. It contains the following. It provides theoretical background of the topic, makes a statement of the problem or issues being researched, reviews the available literature on the topic under research, outlines the scope of the study, list of objectives of the studies, formulates the hypothesis, and provides definition of concepts being researched. Now we'll discuss detail. Excuse me. Now first one is the theoretical background of the topic. Okay. Here, what is this? This provides the background and introduction of your problem so that you can place it in the larger context in which one should understand your topic. This section summarizes the theoretical or the conceptual framework within which the problem was investigated. Okay, theoretical problem here. What is the problem you are going to investigate or you are going to research? Here, this is a theoretical background. Okay. Next comes the statement of the problem. This section discusses why and how the problem was selected, and the problem is clearly defined and its significance point out. So herely we have to focus on your problem. What is your problem? How are you going to investigate it? Actually, here is a statement about the problem itself. Next, after that, review of literature we write. Here, this review of literature, while doing research, you need to, whatever books or journals or whatever primary data, everything, whatever you read in this, we have to write here. Whatever you referred while doing the research, you have to write here. This is an important part of the introduction. It deals with making a brief review of previous studies on the problem and significant writings on your topic. This provides a summary of the current state of the knowledge in the area under investigation, and this lets you know that what research has already been done in this area. Through this, we also understand the research gaps that exist, which can be filled through your research study. Make comparisons so that you introduce two different opinions on a particular topic, which can lead up to your point of view conclusion using these arguments. Okay, why do we do review of literature? So, in order to get in-depth knowledge. So, has earlier this research was done earlier or not, and what methodology he has used? This all will help you while doing your research. Okay, this is why we do review of literature. While doing this review of literature, we know about are there any gaps in the research? If there are any gaps in the research, we can take that topic here. Starting regarding the topic, we have already this theoretical background of the topic. No, after reviewing this literature, we go for actually this theoretical background of the topic. Next comes the scope of the study. What is the scope of the study? The size or the extent of the study in terms of geographical area, the designation of the population under the study, amount of data collected, time frames, focus of the data collection and discussion. This will mention here in the scope of the study. So, what is this geographical area? So, in what area you are conducting this research will mention here, and the designation of the population under the study. So, on what population, on what size of population you are going to study. That is, you have already done the research. That amount of population will mention here, and the data what are the amount of data collected we should mention here, and the focus of data collection and discussion regarding the data we will discuss here in the scope of the study. Next comes the objective of the studies. Objectives here, after selecting the topic, so we are going to study on this topic. So if you have the aim and objectives, now here you know your aim is the topic. So in that, how you are going to study, it is through what objectives you are going to study that topic. It is we call it as an objectives of the studies. What are the actual objectives of your study, and investigate questions relating to each of these objective studies. So in order to study the topic, we need to have the objectives through which we will study whole research. So after framing the objectives and the questionnaire, we will study we'll have deep knowledge about our topic. So after this one, so we need to frame hypothesis. This is what is an hypothesis? It is a tentative statement. So while before study, you will be having some knowledge about our topic. We'll think that it is subjectively. We will think that, but In order to do scientific research, we need objectivity. So we'll do this. We'll frame now hypothesis in order to confirm that our research is scientific. Then we'll last one in the introduction chapter. We have keywords. Whatever the keywords we used in our research. So operational definitions in the these are the, we will call it as an operational definitions. So we need to define here in the introduction. This one is the last step in introduction chapter. Next comes the design of the study. What is this design? As I told, it is a blueprint of your study. So how while constructing a house, we'll have that blueprint. No, that more about our model. How we construct. Same way, it is a design of the study. Is a blueprint of your study. The design of the study contains the following. What are they? Methodology, methods of data collection, selection of sample, data collection, data analysis. So this is what the methodology means. So it is 11:20. Okay. So what is this methodology? This part presents all the aspects of methodology and its implementation. The methodology to be followed should be clearly spelled out so that another research, if she or he so desires, would be able to replicate your study by following your explanation regarding the method adopted by you in your study. Every method used should be explained or justified. For instance, if experimental research or a case study or a survey is used, you should explain the criteria for choosing that method and how exactly you would go about doing it. This section also lists the sources from which both primary and secondary data are gathered. If primary data is planned to be collected, then universe of the study and the unit of study should be defined. So what does this mean? While in this methodology, whatever methods you choose, how you are choosing your sample, how you first you have to choose your population and geographical area, whatever we do, wherever you do, whatever method you are going to do, and how you are going to collect data, that is primary data or the secondary data, you should mention here. Okay. Then comes in this methodology, you should what all you have to mention is a selection of a sample, methods of data collection, and data analysis. What is this selection of sample? The size of the universe from which the sample is drawn, the sampling methods adopted, and the sample size and the process of sampling are described in this section. An estimate of sampling error will also be including, as you should discuss the planned sample and actual sample collected. So what after defining the population, we need to here define our sample size. Okay. Next comes methods of data collection. The type of instruments used for data collection, like a questionnaire, the scales and other devices should be measurable variables, and procedures for establishing their validity and reliability are also discussed. That means whatever method you are using while doing your research, this should be mentioned here in the methods of data collection. And next, data collection, if the study involves fieldwork or if it is only related to the library or media content, is explained here. You have to explain how and when the field study was conducted and what are the problems encountered during the study. So this is all about the research collection, how your data collection is done. In this data collection, you all mentioned about your how you did your research, and any problems or any problems you face, everything you have to discuss here in the data collection. Next, whatever the data collection you did, next comes the data analysis. The analysis can be manually done or by SPSS package using computation. This SPSS package is the it is a computerized one. In this SPSS package, we don't do the manually. It is through computer. We do this SPSS package. Through this, we analyze our data. Okay. The analysis can be manually done or by SPSS package using the computation. The methods adopted for data processing and analysis for hypothesis testing, whatever the tests that like chi-square test or correlation test, regression, whatever we do, uh, uh, we do through this data analysis, we will mention here. Okay. Next comes the limitations of your study. So whatever you do in the research, whatever you find in the gaps, you have selected a topic, no? But there may be many gaps. So, but you have done only the selected topics. So, whatever here we will mention about our limitations of the study. No research is free from limitations and weaknesses. Uh, these can arise from the methodological weaknesses, sampling imperfections, non-responses, data inadequacies. Everything we should be mentioned here. Okay. Next comes the third one is the results. What are the results, findings, and discussions? Okay. This is the major part of your research report, because this is a what our research we done here we will mention here. This is the major part of your report, presenting an organized manner, organized step-by-step process how we did everything. We will mention in this report step by step. No, this in that this is the important one. Whatever you do the research and findings, you are going to mention here. This is a major part of your report, presenting in an organized manner the results of your investigation. It may be again divided into several chapters. So there will be sub chapters also, subheadings. We will mention in subheadings. Depending on the number of objectives of the study, each pertaining to the results of that objective. The results should be reported accurately, and they should be able to show that the objectives with which the study has taken place were achieved and your hypothesis proved. So we all mentioned how we tested our hypothesis using the objectives. Everything we should mention in detail here. So summary and conclusions and recommendations also, next chapter. So this is the last part of your report writing. You should sum up the main points and refer to any underlining theme. This will be more detailed from the abstract that you give the in the beginning. So actually the abstract is the though it is we'll write abstract in the initial stages, but it will be continuing, because why means in the abstract I will mention whatever or what is our topic and how we are going to study, and its background, everything will mention. But the after doing the research, we'll get a conclusion. No, that conclusion also will you have to mention in the abstract, because for further research, though further researchers will get benefited to that abstract. Okay. In the summary, conclusions and recommendation summary. What is the summary? It is the last part of your research writing. You should sum up the main points and refer to any underlying theme. This will be more detailed than the abstract that you have given in the beginning. After brief statement of the problem, the purpose of the study, and the methodology used in the investigation, the findings and conclusions are presented here. Okay, write in a brief, concise manner, for your readers are already familiar with the study. The conclusions or generalizations drawn from your findings and hypotheses. If any questions or issues remain unresolved, mention them in this conclusion part. Okay. And recommendations. Next comes the recommendations. In this, you propose solutions or give directions on how the problem you have investigated can be solved. This should be specific and always emanate or arise from your own research findings and material that you have used. List of suggestions, list them clearly. Whatever we done. For further research, we will recommend this. Okay, list the suggestions clearly. A numbered list is always a good idea, as it is easy to read. Recommendations should be specific and related only to your study. That is topic. Next come last one is the bibliography and references. All the sources used for the research project are listed under these two categories, that is bibliography and references. The sources of formation that you have consulted to build up your arguments and identify the gaps in the research of the topic that you have chosen for research should be listed under bibliography. These include material that you do not quote or refer in your study, but have referred as a part of your research. So while writing the report, as I told, whatever we refer, we will be mentioning in our research report. But in that body, whatever after reading also, if we don't quote them, if we are not using in our research, but we have referred that those type of things we will mention here in the bibliography. These include material that you do not quote or refer in your study, but have referred as a part of your research. Bibliography also serves as a ready references the readers on the board subject or a topic of your research. All the materials such as books, articles, research reports used during your research report writing should be listed under the reference. Whatever you, while writing your research report, you whatever what you call it, charts, everything, tables, everything you should mention here in the bibliography. Use the alphabetical order to list out all the published and unpublished references used by you. Whatever you referred, you should write in an alphabetical order. Okay, you would have referred books, articles, or reports or other documents which can be listed together alphabetically or divided into sections like books, articles, reports, e-sources, etc. Okay, we can also mention like individual whatever for review of literature you might have used these articles, books, or e-resources. So in e-resources you have to write that you whatever that URL you have to mention here. Okay, to keep track of the numerous book research reports, etc., that you consult as a part of your research project, write them down in a book or a cards that are easily available in the market. So while doing the research, it is a year's work. That means it may take 4 years or more than that. So we cannot remember day-to-day process. So then and only we have to paste here. Okay, in this bibliography, access the information thus recorded becomes easy if stored in the cards. Next, last one is the appendices. All data tables, whatever we used in the report, all the data tables, background calculation, list of equipment used, details of experimental configuration, and other information needed and used for your study should be included in the end of the report as appendix. So what all you did in this report writing, you'll mention in this appendix. Okay, this is a report writing. Did you get the students? Hello? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma. I think this is very important. Okay. Now time is up. Shall we leave now?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.